Hi, I'm Lindsay Oates, a head volleyball coach here at UNC, and we're excited for our first edition of our 2024 season, the Coaches Show. So we started this last year just to give fans of Bears volleyball kind of an inside look into UNC. I will have a special guest with me every week the rest of the season. We will put these out on a Wednesday or a Thursday each week, depending on our travel schedule. So we are ready to kick off our season, and our first real match is tomorrow night, Friday, August 30th, against Michigan State. It's Pack the Bank night, so that means $5 tickets, and we want a sellout. We've never had a sellout here for volleyball at UNC, and tomorrow night is going to be the night. I am so excited about it. We were really close last year against Stanford, our opening match, with 2,800. Bank of Colorado Arena seats close to 3,000, I think 5 short of 3,000. So let's do that tomorrow night. If you are watching, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your coworkers to get to the Bank of Colorado Arena, because we want to pack the place and set a new record for volleyball. So super excited about our opening match tomorrow. The following night, we will face Florida, the Florida Gators. Both matches are at 6 p.m., and that will also be a fun match. So hopefully that same sellout crowd will return 24 hours later to see us back in action. A little bit more about our schedule. So we did have an exhibition match this past Saturday against Arizona. We won't talk a whole lot about it. If you noticed, we didn't post scores. We didn't post a box score. We don't want Michigan State and Florida to know a whole lot from that match. We don't know much about them. And so every little bit of information helps or hurts as you're trying to prepare for that first match. So that's the reason that we didn't talk about it a whole lot, and it wasn't broadcast on ESPN+. But from here on out, all of our home matches will be on ESPN+. All of our conference matches, home or away, will be on ESPN+. So the only matches that will not be there is our matches at CSU, CU, DU, and Wichita State. So those 3 local schools have their own networks, and then Wichita State will have their own network as well when we play them. So we'll keep you posted on the website about where you can watch the Bears if you're not going to be there in person. So a little bit about those away schools too. We have a fun event coming up when we play the Buffs in Boulder. So if you want to travel with the Bears on a bus, get dinner, get your match ticket, and get your ride there, September 11th. It's a Wednesday night. The bus will leave at 4 p.m. from the Bank of Colorado Arena. You can email us as a coaching staff, Jaden McCartney, our new director of ops, or I, and we'll get you more information and get you signed up to go with us to Boulder, which will be a fun opportunity in our first time doing that, where we take fans on the road with us. So that'll be a fun one. Coming up this week before we'll do our next coaches show is also our match at CSU. So every year we alternate with them. They are part of the tournament. They will also be playing Michigan State and Florida, just in reverse order this weekend. So we will take on the Rams on Tuesday, September 3rd in Fort Collins. And we'd love to have a good Bears cheering section there. They will always get good crowds. And so we need to get some blue and gold in Moby Arena. So we're really excited about our schedule. It's one of the fun things that our players talk about, is that we're going to play top tier schools that are really going to challenge us, prepare us for the NCAA tournament or postseason. And we want those teams here in Bank of Colorado Arena, as opposed to going there, because that's fun for our fans, it's fun for our players. And because of RPI scheduling, those types of teams want to play in Greeley and against schools like us. And so the Colorado State UNC co-hosted tournament is a great RPI tournament for teams like Florida and Michigan State. So that's why we're able to, in a lot of sports, football, men's basketball, those type of schools would never come to UNC to play at our place. They would pay UNC money to go there, but it doesn't work that way in volleyball. They're not going to pay us a whole lot of money, and we are able to get them on our home court. So don't miss out on those matches right here in Greeley. Let's change directions a little bit and talk about our new team this year. We are really fired up for this group of athletes. It is one of the most connected and fun groups that I've ever had. And I'm going into my 20th year here as head coach, and I love this group and how they interact with each other. And that goes a long way. It goes a long way on the court in terms of performance, but it just makes the whole process more enjoyable too. It's fun to coach them. They have fun with each other on and off the court. It's light, which relieves pressure, and they just can trust each other going forward and not worried about any distractions. And I love that. And not that that couldn't creep in. Every team in the country at any sport has to fight against that. So we're not immune to that. But I really like our foundation of this group. Let me talk a little bit about our new players that we've added to our roster. So if you've already followed UNC volleyball, you know some of our returners. Sid Cole's back for her 5th year as a setter. We're excited to have her leading the group. And we added another 5th-year senior. And so we have 2 of those, as our players call them, grandmas, because they're a little bit older in their 5th season. And that is Sam Steele, our libero. And what she has added, in addition to great play, is leadership. And that's what we've appreciated most about her. She joined us in January from Ohio University. She's originally from Omaha, Nebraska. So back a little closer to home, maybe, where her parents can drive and see us. And that was one of the deciding factors in choosing us. But I've appreciated her leadership because she is vocal. She's not afraid to say the hard things if necessary, and that's important in a team dynamic. Sid's personality is much more quiet, pleasant. She's so easy to get along with, but she doesn't want to fulfill that role of kind of the enforcer on our team. And so Sam is able to do that in a way that is well respected and with a great heart behind it. And that's really important, especially in females. And so Sam has brought that, even though she's new, to the court. And we've loved the way that she's led our group. And so you'll see that we're digging a lot of balls. We're passing well. We put her in a 2-person serve receive quite often because she can handle a lot of court. And so we love what she's doing on the court. But as I mentioned, even more importantly, we love what she's doing in the locker room and getting our team organized on the court as well. In addition to her on the defensive side is G.A. McCarter. So she transferred here from Mississippi State. She is a sophomore, and she's originally from Memphis, Tennessee. So not typically a hotbed for us recruiting here in Colorado, but you never know how the transfer portal will work or what is a good fit. And GA has been a great fit. She's starting for us as a DS right now and has been a great addition. I love her energy. She is flying around the court, making great saves. She had a really good match against Arizona with a great serving run and some just incredible saves. So those 2 in the backcourt is probably the first thing that you as a fan will notice that's different about your Bears 24 season, is that we're keeping balls off the floor, and those 2 are a big piece of that. We also have a freshman DS. So there's 3 new faces in our backcourt. Our returning backcourt player is Bella Lepore, and you'll see her on the floor as well. She's a starter for us and is coming back for a sophomore season after having a really good freshman year, part of that playing at libero. So she's still looking very strong. But our 3rd backcourt new player is one of our freshmen. So Finley Scalehouse from Iowa. She flies around the court as well, just provides great energy, is a phenomenal teammate, and is the one right now in our first 3 weeks of the season that I'm not sure she's gone a day without asking for extra reps. She is a gym rat, a coach's kid. She has all the intangibles that we want in a player at any position. And so she's going to be really good. There's some adjustments, some training differences at this level that we've asked her to make. And so we're working through that, but I would be surprised if she doesn't have a significant contribution by the end of the year because she's athletic, she's fast, she sees the game well. She's just got to get a little bit more comfortable with this level. And that could happen this weekend. She's certainly capable of that. So we're excited about Finley's potential here as a Bear. Our 2 other freshmen, we brought in 3 this year. Addie Waller is a setter from Rock Canyon High School. So our Colorado recruit, and we've loved having setters from Colorado. That's really been a good pipeline for us. So we have Sid Cole, who's a 5th-year senior, Mia Lydiard, who is from Salt Lake City, Utah, and is a junior this year. And then we have Addie Waller, who is a freshman. And we're excited about her potential as well. She has some size. She has very good instincts. Another really good teammate. That is what stood out to us in the recruiting process as we looked at different setters, is that, man, people love to play for her. They elevate their play because they're playing next to Addie Waller. And what a great characteristic to have in a sport like volleyball, because that's what you need your setter to do, is elevate the play of other people. And she brings that quality to the court. So she's been fun to coach so far. Our third freshman from Lincoln, Nebraska is Maddie Rink. And we're excited about her potential as well. She brings some size. She's played for a good club. She comes in with pretty good training. As a middle blocker, it's hard as a freshman. It's one of those positions that is maybe the biggest gap between high school and club to college level, because the game's fast on the other side of the net. And instead of 2 options coming at you, you have 4, maybe even 5, with the back row attack, the setter dumping, and obviously 3 front row hitters, 2 or 3 front row hitters. So it's a lot coming at a middle blocker. She's adjusting well. We really like what we're seeing from Maddie so far. And she'll play a big role for us as well. And she already has in practice situations playing a really important role. So that rounds out our 5 newcomers, 2 transfers, 3 freshmen. We have 16 on the roster, so 11 returners. And I can't say it enough. I just love how this group works together. And that sounds so basic, but anybody who's been involved in a team sport understands how important that is. One other topic I wanted to hit for today is the NCAA rules changes. So there are some significant ones that you're going to notice as a fan. And if you watched a little bit of college volleyball on TV, the start of the season was Tuesday, that was televised, you maybe picked up on these. I had the privilege of being the NCAA rules chair for the last 3 years. So I had a front seat and a deciding factor as a part of the committee to vote on these rule changes. There's 8 rule changes. Some of them are insignificant to the fan, about jerseys and jewelry and some things that don't actually affect the play, but 2 really important ones that will affect the play. And the first one is that we are now allowing double contact from the second contact. It's already allowed on the first contact, but now what we'll see is setters can just mangle the ball. It can look however ugly it looks, and it is legal as long as it stays on your side of the net. So you can't send it over and it look ugly, but on your side of the net, the refs are going to say there's not much advantage gained, and so it is allowed. And that was part of the decision-making process, is that there's not much of an advantage gained. You still want your setter to set clean balls. That is best for your hitting, for your offensive rhythm, to set good, clean balls and not double it. So you don't see very many in our exhibition match, because of the role I had been in for the last 3 years. And I'm actually not the chair anymore as of this week. But because of that role I was in, I'm really looking for it. And I'm curious how it will change the game. I'm sure hopeful that this is a good change, a change for the better, that there's less whistles, more of letting the players dictate the outcome of the match. And so in our exhibition, I was very aware of it. I think in that entire match, there was probably 1 ball that I thought, oh, that would have been called in a year ago. So 1 ball in an entire match is not, you're not going to see a significant difference at the Division I level. We're still going to train our setters to set clean balls, but it is a significant rule change. And so fans, don't be yelling double when you see it go to a teammate, because the refs are going to ignore you. The other rule change is that you can use 2 liberos now. Libero, libero, you can say it either way. For the Bears, you're probably only going to see 1 in that opposite colored jersey. Sam Steele, our current libero, is a phenomenal passer, defender, and server. So we don't see the need with our current personnel to use 2 liberos. But you'll see it in some teams where they might have a serve-receive specialist and a defensive specialist, and they're both in that opposite colored jersey. They're playing the same position, so they're not both going to be on the floor at the same time. They can't go for 2 different people. They're essentially going for each other, if you can think of it that way. That was the simplest way for me to understand it, is 2 liberos playing the same position. So it can specialize that position a little bit more if that fits your personnel. I wouldn't say we're never going to use it. Our current personnel, it doesn't fit, but I think you'll see some high-level teams using 2 liberos, and we'll see how it impacts the match. One of the rationale behind making that change is that women's college volleyball is the only level that doesn't use that rule right now. So international volleyball, as we watch the Olympics, men's and women's can have 2 liberos. Men's college volleyball can have 2 liberos. At the club level, they can have 2 liberos. So we were trying to get women's college volleyball more in line with that current rule. That really was the first reason. The second reason is that some people, I would say more at the Division III level, want more opportunities for playtime. They carry big rosters, and this is a way, without adding more substitutions, to get more people on the court and more opportunity for playtime. So that was kind of a secondary reason. So I'll really be curious how that impacts the Division I level, and especially like within our conference or teams that we play against. So just wanted to kind of update you on those 2 NCAA rule changes, and hopefully they're good for the game, especially since I have a big stake in it and my name might be attached to it, good or bad. So we're excited about that, and we obviously felt like it was a good change for the game as crowds are increasing and more publicity for volleyball. It's really a growing sport right now, and it's exciting, and so we want to make sure that the rules are allowing for that growth and even maybe facilitating it, that it's a fun game to watch. So we are excited for our season. We hope you are too. We will see you in the arena tomorrow for Pack the Bank against Michigan State. Go Bears!